Welcome to the deep dive. Ever feel like, you're just hitting a wall trying to get someone to see your point?
Oh, absolutely. Happens all the time, doesn't it?
It really does. So today, we're digging into some classic advice on this
Mhm.
from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Ah, a timeless one. Still so relevant.
Exactly. Our goal here is to pull out those key strategies for, well, getting your ideas across effectively, building better connections.
And maybe becoming someone people actually want to listen to.
Yes. And doing it without, just getting into shouting matches. It's about figuring out how to handle disagreements better.
For sure. It's amazing how these, fundamental human interaction principles still hold up, whether it's work, friends, whatever.
Totally. It's not about forcing your view, right? It's more about connection, understanding.
That's the core of it. Genuine connection.
Okay, so let's jump into the first big one, the no argument zone, just avoiding arguments.
Right. Sounds simple, but it's surprisingly tough sometimes. We get drawn in.
We really do. The book hammers home how, well, pointless they often are. Like trying to grab smoke. Lots of heat, no substance.
That's a perfect way to put it. And there's a real psychological reason, isn't there? People get defensive instantly when you attack their position.
Yeah, shields go straight up.
And Carnegie quotes Benjamin Franklin something like, an argument might give you a victory, but you'll lose their goodwill.
Ooh, that hits hard.
Yeah.
Because even if you win the point,
You've lost the relationship, or at least damaged it. They resent it. Future influence. Gone.
so what's the alternative then? Someone disagrees, what do you do?
Well, the advice is pretty clear. Take a breath. Don't just jump in.
Yeah.
Try saying something like, that's interesting. Why do you see it that way? Or tell me more about your thinking on that.
So you're showing you're actually listening, not just reloading for your next point.
Precisely. It validates them, first off. Shows respect. That brings the defenses down.
And I guess you might actually learn something too.
Exactly. You get insights into why they think that way. Plus, personally, dodging all that argument stress. Big win for your own well-being.
Stronger friendships, less stress. Make sense?
And think about the downside of always arguing. It pushes people away.
Yeah, you lose friends, lose influence. People stop wanting to share ideas with you.
You miss opportunities. And honestly, it's just tiring, all that negative energy.
You see this play out, right? Like, think about TED
A
Talks.
good example. Yeah.
They present sometimes really challenging ideas, but they do it with stories, passion, evidence. They invite you to think differently.
They're not attacking your beliefs head on. It's persuasion, but it's peaceful, respectful.
Compare that to, like, those super aggressive pop-up ads.
Yeah. The one's basically yelling that you're an idiot if you don't buy their thing.
Exactly. Instant turn off. Put you right on the defensive. Okay, so related to this is the next point,
Yeah.
being a super listener.
Yes.
Hmm.
Crucial. It's about encouraging others to talk about themselves.
Why is that so powerful? Seems a bit counterintuitive if you're trying to influence them.
Well, think about it. We all have this fundamental need to feel heard, to feel understood, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
When you really, truly listen, not just waiting for your turn to talk, you make that person feel valued, important.
Okay, so it builds rapport. What does that active listening look like, though, practically?
It's the small things, mostly. Nodding, making eye contact, asking follow-up questions like, wow, that's fascinating. What happened next? Or how did that make you feel?
So you're signaling, I'm here, I'm interested, keep going.
Exactly. You're fully present, and the payoff is huge. Stronger relationships, obviously.
Right.
But you also get incredibly valuable information when you actually understand their perspective, their needs. It builds real connection.
And if you don't listen, if you're just, nodding along while planning your response.
Well, Carnegie's pretty blunt about it. He basically says people will find you boring.
Ouch. But probably true.
Yeah. It leads to misunderstandings, conflicts that could have been avoided, missed chances to connect. You just seem self-absorbed.
Can you think of a positive example? Like the TED Talk for arguing.
Maybe something like the Calm app?
How so?
Well, they're not pushy, are they? They provide solutions, meditations, sleep stories based on what people are clearly looking for. They've listened to a need.
Okay. So they're meeting a need without being aggressive. It's a kind of quiet persuasion through service.
Exactly. Contrast that with, say, a salesperson who just talks at you, doesn't ask about what you actually need.
Yeah. You feel completely ignored. Okay, let's shift gears to the yes technique, getting people agreeing early on. What's the psychology there?
It taps into our desire for consistency. Once we start saying yes, even to small things, we're psychologically primed to keep saying yes.
Huh. Like building momentum.
Exactly. It creates this positive flow, lowers resistance for the bigger ask later. Carnegie mentions the Socratic method, right? Leading someone through questions they agree with.
Right, right. So the practical tip is find common ground first.
Yes. Start there. Ask questions you're pretty sure they'll say yes to.
Like the action movie example.
Yep.
Don't just say, let's see Die Hard 12. Ask.
Ask, hey, do you generally like action movies? Or are you in the mood for something exciting tonight? Start with agreement.
Got it. And the benefit is creating that positive vibe from the start.
Yeah, it makes your actual proposal, the bigger idea, feel more acceptable because they're already in an agreeable state of mind.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And the opposite, starting with disagreement.
Just sets you up for a battle, doesn't it? Immediate resistance. Makes finding any solution way harder, hinders persuasion right out of the gate.
Can you think of a modern example of the yes-yes approach?
Maybe something like how Google uses A/B testing.
Explain that.
Well, they test different versions of things, see what users prefer, what works better. They're subtly guiding you towards the yes, the choice that provides a better experience based on data.
Ah, okay. They're not telling you the old way was bad. They're just showing you a better way you naturally say yes to.
Exactly. Compare that to someone just saying, your current software choice is terrible, use mine. Instant defensiveness.
Right. Okay, next up, the sweetness strategy. Begin in a friendly way. Seems obvious, but why is it so crucial?
Because we're wired to respond better to positivity. The old saying, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. Friendliness just works.
It lowers barriers.
Totally. A genuine smile, a warm greeting, it creates instant rapport. Makes people more open, more receptive, even if the topic itself is difficult.
So the tip is just be nice, smile.
Pretty much. Be approachable. Think about asking a teacher for help, starting with a polite good morning, and a smile makes a difference, right?
Definitely. And the benefits are people are more likely to help.
Yeah, they're more receptive. You build goodwill, which pays off later. You just generally up your chances of getting a positive outcome. People want to help friendly people.
And being unfriendly or abrupt?
Creates defensiveness immediately. Damages the potential for a good interaction. Makes resolving anything much, much harder. Nobody wants to cooperate with a grouch.
Think about good customer service experiences.
Perfect example. Even if the issue is complicated, a friendly, empathetic agent makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you feel like they're on your side, even if they can't fix it instantly. That's that sweetness.
Exactly. Now picture getting an angry, demanding email from some company.
Ugh. Delete. Or at least immediate negative feeling. Doesn't make you want to buy anything.
Right. Okay, let's move to one that's really interesting. Let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. Their idea advantage.
This one feels a bit manipulative.
Yeah.
Or is it?
I don't think it has to be. It's more about understanding human nature. People support what they help create, right?
Okay.
When we feel ownership over an idea, we're way more enthusiastic about it. We champion it. It taps into our need for autonomy, for contribution.
So instead of telling someone, here's the plan, you...
You guide them. Ask questions. Offer suggestions, maybe. But frame it as exploring options together. Like, instead of, you need to study more, ask.
What are some ways you think you could improve your grades? Or what study strategies might work best for you?
Exactly. You're leading them to the conclusion, but they feel like they arrived there themselves.
And the benefit is they're actually excited about it.
Yes. More ownership, more enthusiasm, better cooperation because they feel heard, and you might even get better ideas by genuinely asking for their input.
And if you don't do this, if you just dictate,
you get resistance, maybe compliance, but not commitment. You miss out on their perspective, and their motivation probably tanks.
Like companies that solicit user feedback.
Yeah. Google, again, asking for feedback, incorporating suggestions. It makes users feel like part of the process, like co-creators, builds loyalty.
Right, versus a company just forcing an update everyone hates.
Exactly. That creates pushback because people felt they had no say. Okay, next crucial one. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view.
Empathy, basically.
Pure empathy. Influence isn't about tricks. It's about really understanding where the other person is coming from, their needs, their fears, their viewpoint.
So if someone's upset, you don't just argue back or dismiss it.
No, you try to step into their shoes. Say something like, okay, I can see why you feel that way, or help me understand what's bothering you about this.
Validate their feelings first.
Absolutely. It's incredibly powerful for de-escalating conflict. makes the other person feel heard, understood.
And you might actually find better solutions if you understand all sides.
Definitely. Plus, it just builds stronger relationships overall. Empathy is key.
And the cost of not seeing their side.
Constant misunderstandings,
Mhm.
difficulty connecting. And forget persuading anyone if you don't even grasp what matters to them.
Think about those powerful TED Talks again, where speakers share really personal, vulnerable stories.
Yes, that vulnerability makes you connect. You see their perspective, you understand their journey, and their message lands differently.
It builds that bridge of understanding.
For sure. Now, flip side. A company that just ignores complaints, doesn't try to see the customer's frustration.
So damaging. Makes you feel completely invisible and uncared for. Okay, final principle. Appeal to the nobler motives. What does that mean?
It means tapping into people's better selves. Most people want to see themselves as fair, honest, generous, helpful.
So you frame your request around those values.
Exactly. Instead of focusing only on what you gain or what they gain selfishly, connect it to a higher principle. Fairness, teamwork, helping others, doing the right thing.
So not, you got to help me finish this report, but more like,
More like, hey, I could really use your expertise on this report. It would be a huge help to the whole team, and I know you really care about us succeeding together.
okay, you're appealing to their sense of teamwork and contribution.
Right, and the benefits. It inspires genuine action, not just grudging compliance. It builds trust and respect because you're acknowledging their good intentions.
And people are more likely to cooperate if they feel they're contributing to something worthwhile.
Definitely. Now, if you only appeal to selfish motives.
It can feel cynical, maybe work short-term, but not build real relationships.
Exactly. It can breed cynicism, you might get minimal effort, and it can even damage your reputation if you seem purely self-serving.
Like the Calm app example, again, they appeal to the noble motive of wanting well-being, right?
Precisely. It's about health, balance, mindfulness, positive aspirations.
Contrasted with, say, fear-based marketing. Buy this, or something terrible will happen.
Totally different vibe. Often feels manipulative and can backfire.
Now, the book apparently has a great story about an entrepreneur, Alex, who put all this stuff into practice.
Yeah, it's a fantastic case study. Really shows the transformation possible. Alex was brilliant technically, a coder, but apparently terrible with people initially. Argued with clients, struggled with the sales.
Okay, sounds familiar for some tech founders, maybe.
Perhaps. But Alex found Carnegie's book and decided to actually try these principles.
And what changed?
Yeah.
Internally first, with the team.
Big shifts. Instead of jumping on mistakes, Alex started with praise, stopped giving orders, and started asking for input, like, what's the best way you think we can tackle this bug?
The their idea principle.
Exactly. And sharing personal mistakes to seem more human, actively listening in meetings and using the team's suggestions, giving credit publicly.
That must have made a huge difference to morale.
Huge. Then, externally with clients, the same shift. Stopped arguing about why their product was better.
What did they do instead?
Focused on understanding the client's problems first. Expressed sympathy when clients complained. I totally get why you feel that way.
Seeing their side.
Yep. Highlighted benefits directly related to the client's needs, didn't just bash competitors, looked for win-win partnerships.
Asking, what are your goals here?
Exactly. And appealing to those nobler motives, helping the client improve their business, serve their customers better, innovate.
Wow. And the results? Did it actually work?
According to the story, dramatically, team motivation soared, collaboration improved.
And sales?
Sales went way up. Partnerships flourished. Alex became this respected leader, financially successful, the whole package. It really ties it all together.
That's a powerful example. It shows it's not just theory.
Not at all. It's about a fundamental shift from confrontation to connection. Understanding, empathy, genuine interest.
So, wrapping this deep dive up, the main takeaway really seems to be winning people over isn't about force. It's not about having the loudest voice or the sharpest argument.
No, it's about understanding people, being friendly, being genuinely interested in their perspective, listening more than you talk, maybe.
Yeah, seems like it. Build the connection first, then the agreement might follow more easily.
That's a great way to summarize it.
Well, hopefully everyone listening can maybe try one or two of these ideas out this week and see what happens. Thanks for digging into this with me.
My pleasure. Fascinating stuff. Until next time.
Welcome to the deep dive. Ever feel like, you're just hitting a wall trying to get someone to see your point?
Oh, absolutely. Happens all the time, doesn't it?
It really does. So today we're digging into some classic advice on this from Dale Carnegie's How to win friends and influence people.
Ah, a timeless one. Still so relevant.
Exactly. Our goal here is to pull out those key strategies for, well, getting your ideas across effectively, building better connections.
And maybe becoming someone people actually want to listen to.
Yes. And doing it without, just getting into shouting matches. It's about figuring out how to handle disagreements better.
For sure. It's amazing how these, like, fundamental human interaction principles still hold up, whether it's work, friends, whatever.
Totally. It's not about forcing your view, right? It's more about connection, understanding.
That's the core of it. Genuine connection.
Okay, so let's jump into the first big one, the no argument zone, just avoiding arguments.
Right. Sounds simple, but it's surprisingly tough sometimes. We get drawn in.
We really do. The book hammers home how, well, pointless they often are. Like trying to grab smoke. Lots of heat, no substance.
That's a perfect way to put it. And there's a real psychological reason, isn't there? People get defensive instantly when you attack their position.
Yeah, shields go straight up.
And Carnegie quotes Benjamin Franklin something like, an argument might give you a victory, but you'll lose their goodwill.
Ooh, that hits hard.
Yeah.
Because even if you win the point,
You've lost the relationship, or at least damaged it. They resent it. Future influence. Gone.
so what's the alternative then? Someone disagrees, what do you do?
Well, the advice is pretty clear. Take a breath. Don't just jump in.
Well,
Try saying something like, that's interesting. Why do you see it that way? Or tell me more about your thinking on that.
so you're actually listening,